Hello everyone. In this session, I'm going to discuss how to prepare online test for Johnson Controls. It is one of the important campus drive, especially for electronics and communication engineering. So now let's get started. How to prepare for online test for this particular campus drive. What you can do? So we have like two important section. One is aptitude section and the other one is technical. If I talk about aptitude, you need to focus on quantitative reasoning, then general reasoning, technical basics. Also, you have to focus on some logical reasoning, personality test, even a shape-based test. Sometimes there may be like a situational judgment. Candidate observed repeated similar kind of questions with a variation to the test and consistency. That is another observation we made from the previous year question papers. If I talk about like a technical content, better go for like a core instrumentation because their domain is mainly like instrumentation, and you should have better idea about sensors, then transmitters, like programmable logic controllers, PID controllers, then hard protocol, troubleshooting, basic electronics, semiconductors, and digital logic topics. These are the important thing they are looking for. Even like the test pattern that varies from year to year. However, general thing is like they'll be having 60 questions. Out of 60, 30 belongs to technical, another 30 is for aptitude. Total allotted time is 60 minutes. There may be variation. However, prepare for 1 hour. That means 60 minutes. So I would like to show you some questions which can be useful for preparing the examination. These are the previous year question papers. So what you can do, let us go for logical reasoning. So you can get question from analogy like 100 4. 100 is mapped to 4. Then how about 225? So how do you get the answer? First, you understand the relation between 100 and 4. In the sense, you can see square root of 100 is nothing but 10. That means like 10 square. 10 square is 100, correct? Similarly, 2 square. Then 225 means what? So of course, it will be like same for 225 will be written in the form of like 15 square for like then 3 square. The answer is 9. That means 9. I hope you understood. So identify the relation between 100 and 4. Then you find out the relation between 225 and unknown number. Correct? So same relation can be applied here. Have a look on this. Try to understand the relation between two number. Then you will be going for another one. So relation between another number. So this is called analogy. So analogy question is very important. Then series. So 2, 4, 8, 16. So each term is getting double, right? So 2, then 4, 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 8, 16, then 16 plus 16, of course, 32. Find out the odd man out. That is resistor, transistor, diode, capacitor. Of course, transistor, resistor, diode, capacitor are basically passive components. The transistor is active component. Blood relation is very important. Pointing a photograph. He is the son of woman who is my grandmother. How is he related? Better draw the simple diagram. Okay, if you draw the diagram, you will come to know very fastly. So, of course, uncle son, there is a relation. Okay, otherwise, you can mention like a father's cousin. Then syllogisms also very important. All are B, all B are, all A are B, all B are C, some C are D. Is it possible that all A are D? Answer is correct or not. Yes or no type question you may get it. Syllogisms. You should have some like a simple like a analysis skill. So if it is possible, that means answer is true. So you can prepare some questions according to this particular pattern. Now, direction sense also important. Like you should have the basic idea about which north, south, east, and west. Okay, so north, then we can say south, then east, west. Draw this first. Later you have to analyze. A face east, turns right, walk another 5 meter, then turns left, walk 3 meter, then again turn right, find the direction. So of course, if you draw this diagram, okay, draw the movement appropriately, you will be getting the answer as south. Mirror image is very important. So if that electron is viewed in a mirror, what is the reflected third letter? So you should have a like a logical analysis. So just practice it. Mirror image, you have to like a fold. Okay. Then logic puzzle also very important. For example, five people A to E sitting in a line. A sits to the right of B. C between A and D. Who sits at one end? So better draw draw and practice it. Then you will understand. That means E depending on the drawing, correct? Then coding and decoding is very important. So Apple is mapped to BQQMF. So identify the relation between AB, then PQ, then PQ, then LM, EF. Similarly, how the banana is mapped. That means each letter plus one. That is a relation. Okay. A, then B, PQ, PQ. That means one letter is going to be incremented. That relation you have to identify. Then B will be mapped to C. A will be mapped with B. Then O will be mapped with sorry, N will be mapped to then O, LMNO, correct? Yeah. The critical reasoning. If most electronic component follows Ohm's law, can you conclude that all do? No, we cannot generalize. So some kind of critical reasoning question also. Decision making. This is basically testing your decision making skill. Similarly, family tree. Okay, like a straight family tree. A's father, daughter is B. How B related to A? So draw and practice. Just draw and practice. If you draw, then it will come to know like a sister. You should have some relation, like a relation list that you have to mention. Mixed relation. R is Q's daughter. P's mother is Q. How R is related to P? It is basically sister. Replicate the pattern for 15 questions by varying some standard structure. So there may be some variation, but however, you can follow this pattern. So regarding the core pattern, so there are core like core electronics. You try to study like a photodiode. What happens when light falls on the photodiode in reverse bias? Of course, current increases. Okay, this is due to photo generator carrier. You might have studied in the basic electronics. Similarly, amplitude modulation versus frequency modulation, which is more immune to noise. Of course, frequency modulation is immune to noise. Flip-flop based question. JK flip-flop toggles when J equal to K equal to 1. Clock edge arrives. Is it true or not? It is correct. Okay, you should know the basics of flip-flop. SR flip-flop, T flip-flop, D flip-flop, JK flip-flop. How do you convert one type of flip-flop to another type of flip-flop? Similarly, bandwidth-based questions. So bandwidth of AM signal, that is the relation is given 2 into modulating frequency. Okay, like a bandwidth of AM signal will be 2 times of modulating frequency. What is PLL? It is a phase locked loop. PLL, what is the meaning of PLL? It is used for frequency synthesis and demodulation. That's the purpose of like a PLL. You may get like a true or false question. Regarding the MOSFET, it is metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Like enhancement mode versus depletion mode MOSFET difference. Enhancement mode is normally off, depletion mode is normally on. That point you have to remember. Similarly, difference between N channel and P channel MOSFET. Okay, in the N channel MOSFET, electrons are majority carrier, where P channel MOSFET holes are majority carrier. Because of that aspects, we go for N channel MOSFET. So such kind of fundamental questions can be asked in the examination. You can prepare accordingly. Okay, so try to explore more number of like a core based questions, even aptitude also. Then another one is biasing. Purpose of biasing in a transistor circuit to set the operating point. That's why we are performing biasing. You may get any kind of questions based upon these kind of statements. Bridge rectifier. Use of four diodes in full bridge rectifier use. Full rectifier using both the half cycles. Similarly, you may get a question like what is the ripple factor? Value of ripple factor of bridge rectifier. Very, very important. Okay. Then efficiency of a full bridge rectifier. Efficiency of a half bridge rectifier. Okay, those like a peak inverse voltage, PIV. What is the value of PIV in the bridge rectifier? What is the value of PIV in the center tapped rectifier? Such kind of questions also can be asked. Then sensors. So related one question, HART protocol is used for digital communication in the field instrumentation. It is a repeated question. Kindly make a note of this. Then next is troubleshooting. Uh, A-level transmitter fails, first action. Check power supply, wiring, then sensor calibration. Some kind of logical level questions also can be asked. You should have good in decision making, sometimes good in analysis. That is what they wanted to test you, right? Other one is see, photodiode operates in which bias, either forward or reverse bias. It's a reverse bias. Bandwidth of amplitude modulated wave. It is twice the modulating frequency. Kindly remember this relation. It is very, very important. Even gate exam also you can expect similar kind of questions. In JK flip-flop, when J equal to K equal to 1, output is toggle, right? PLL used for frequency synthesis as well as demodulation. Which modulation is the best immunity? That is frequency modulation. So I request you to focus similar kind of problem which is comes under basic electronics. In digital electronics, fan out means number of output driven by the number of input driven by an output is known as fan out. Okay, you try to study about the ECL logic, TTL family. Okay, now NIC is straight for the signal with the 4 kilohertz bandwidth. You have to calculate it. That will be like 2 times of 4 kilohertz. That will be 8 kilohertz. Zener diode is used for purpose is voltage regulator. It is in the reverse bias condition. Okay, in control system, transfer function is the ratio of Laplace transform of output to the Laplace transform of input, where all the initial conditions are zero. Then embedded systems are generally for application specific systems. Even you can study about like microcontroller and microprocessor based questions also. Similarly, I request you to follow some kind of general aptitude questions. You can focus time and work. If A alone does a job in 10 hours, B in 15 hours together. That means you should know the concept of time and work. Ultimately, you will be getting the answer of 6 hours. Then alligation and mixture. That is also another important part. Blend priced like dollar 100 per kilogram and dollar 200 per kilogram get 150 kilogram. What is the ratio? So try to study the topic of alligation and mixture. Even try to solve more problems on speed and distance. You should know the equation of average speed. You should know the relation between speed and distance. How do you convert kilometer per hour into meter per second? That means the 60 kilometer per hour is nothing but 60 into 5 by 18. That point you have to remember. Similarly, permutation and combination. Okay, you should know what is the meaning of NCR, NPR. Those relations you should know. Similarly, probability. Okay, what is probability? Then how to calculate the probability. Then puzzle. Like for example, this kind of questions you can expect. A is twice B's age, and B is 5. What is A? Then pattern puzzle also can be asked. Similarly, logical grid is very important. Word puzzle. Find the odd one. Forget, forgo, fourth. Answer is fourth. Similarly, quantitative. 25 percentage of 200. Okay, you should know what is percentage. That means 25 by 100 into 200. So don't take more time. So first of all, whichever the question you know, try to answer it. Later you can find search and find and work more on unknown questions. There is a small strategy I would like to suggest you. Practice speed and accuracy as online tests are limited and strict. So try to boost up your speed. Be honest in personality type questions, especially relevant for Johnson, especially this particular company. Okay. Similarly, revise fundamentals, electronics, logic gates, flip-flop, modulation, basic instrumentation. So try to revise as much as possible. So mock simulate 60 questions in 60 minutes with this particular combination. So you can have an online practice session. There are so many websites available. You try to explore it. Similarly, be consistent in logical and personality. Test don't flip the answers in paraphrase the repetition. Similarly, maintain the consistency in both the aptitude and the technical because there are cutoff. They are going to maintain the cutoff. Similarly, like you can each section logical reasoning you can expect 10 10 questions. Analogies, sequences, relation. You have to focus more on reasoning pattern. Similarly, blood relation is very important. Family tree you have to draw. Okay, then identify the relation. Electronic core, photodiode, PLL, MOSFET, etc. So go for like core electronics and communication basics, then instrumentation fundamentals. You should know about like a different type of meters, digital multimeter. How does digital multimeter operate? What is the operation of CRO? Different type of Lessagius pattern. Those things also you can go through that. General aptitude, go for like a basic maths, puzzles, ages. You refer some NCERT textbook formulas. Then quantitative and logical puzzles are important. So this is actually the important tips you can prepare for your exam. Okay, coming exam. Similarly, a few more questions you can observe. Similarly, a train travels 60 kilometer per hour. How far it from 45 minutes? Apply the same concept. Speed is equal to distance by time. Okay. So you want to calculate distance. That means speed is equal to distance by time. So distance is equal to speed into time. So kilometer per hour should be converted to meter per second. Okay. If A can complete job in 12 hours, B in 18 hours, how long together? If they work together, how many hours it will take? So you have to apply the work and work time and work. That's most important. So if you apply this combination, you will be getting 5 by 36. That means 36 by 5. That is 7.5 hours. Logical and abstract reasoning. Find the next sequence. Okay. So you identify the relation. 2 plus 4, 6. Then plus 6, 12. 12 plus 8, 20. Next will be like a plus 10, 30. Which shape follows logical pattern? Okay, that is also can be asked. Then data interpretation. Given bar chart with the monthly sales, what is the percentage from A to month B? So you should have a better idea. Some basics of statistics also you should know. Even basics are sufficient. Verbal reasoning. Choose the correct antonym for mitigate. Okay. Likewise, you may get similar kind of synonyms, antonyms. Those part also you have to prepare. Even sometimes you may get like reading comprehension, the very rare case. Puzzles and spatial reasoning also important. Like a cube painted on all faces is cut equally to 27 smaller cubes. How many have two painted faces? Of course, you should know how many edges are available in the cube. That means 12. If you know that, the things are done. Situational judgment. You are a team project. One member is not contributing. What you do? Because in company, decision making also very important. Communicate politely because you will be having so many options. Take a immediate action, removing the employee. Correct. So, but don't take any harsh decision. You can diplomatically you have to work. That means diplomatic decision is mandatory because they are testing your behavioral skills also. Correct. Situational judgment is very important. That means personality insight, how well you are going to manage the situation that they wanted to verify. Technical domain relevant, go for like electronics, flip-flop, logic, bandwidth calculation, photodiode, PLL. So how, whatever the electronics questions are, try to cover as much as possible, right? Then few more questions like A and B can finish in 12 hours and 18 days. How many days they work together? So likewise, these kind of questions you have to practice. Similarly, simple interest and compound interest. Then average, the problems on average. Then profit and loss. Click on the selling price, cost price. What is the relation between selling price and cost price? Cost price. Then profit, loss, gain. Those formula you have to remember. Similarly, ratio and proportion. The ratios and proportions also very very important. So similarly, train problem. Every aptitude question you can see the train problem. Then work and time. Kindly revise the topic work and time. So similarly, probability. Okay, number of sample divided by total number of samples. If simple interest, simple and compound interest. So you should study the relation between simple interest and compound interest also. Separate formula also you can study. Selling price and cost price. Similarly, in the logical reasoning, a series. This kind of series you can expect. Similarly, odd man out. Identify the odd man out. For example, a square, triangle, rectangle, cube. Of course, three cube is belong to 3D shape. So it is odd man out. Similarly, relation. Try to draw the relation tree. Based upon that, you have to identify the correct answer. Similarly, taking the decision. Okay. Similarly, clock. Okay. You identify the angle between. There are some standard formula you have to remember. Based upon the standard formula, you can easily calculate the angle between hours and hour handle and minute handle. Similarly, speed and distance. Focus on speed and distance. Identify the missing number. Coding is required. Cat is mapped to 3120. Dog is mapped with. So identify the number. C is mapped with 3. A is mapped with 1. T is mapped with 20. Of course, dog will be like a 40, 40, 4157 based upon the number. Paper is written as O Z O E Q. Even pen can be written as. Identify the relation. P is mapped to O. A is mapped with the Z. Then coding and decoding. That is very important. Blood relation, try to practice so as many questions as possible because it is bit confusing. I never suggest at the beginning. Don't do blood relation at the beginning. So better do this kind of questions at last because you will be getting bit time. If you get more time, you can practice it. Otherwise, it will consume more time and confusion. Okay. So please practice these particular five problems for your better practice. Similarly, like some numerical, like how many edges are available in the cube, how many sides are available. That point you have to remember. Then problem related to like puzzles. Some puzzles you have to remember, basic max problems related to basic reasoning. Then similarly, day. If yesterday was Wednesday, what will be after? 63 days. You have to apply the shortcuts. It will be Friday. Find the missing number. Okay. So you try to prepare in this particular fashion. So that you can clear the aptitude test without any issue. At least 80% above is required for clearing the cutoff. Minimum 80% is required. Try to make it at least 80% so that you will be shortlisted for next round. So if you have any queries, you can communicate it through comment box, or you can directly mail with us. We are going to reply. I wish you all the very best for your online test. Do well. In the coming session, I'm going to discuss how to prepare for the real interview. Okay. Once you got shortlisted, you have to appear for coming round. So at that time, I can give you more inputs, more insights, how to prepare for technical and HR rounds. So hope everybody will clear the rounds. I wish you all the very best. Do well. Try your level best. Use and work logically. Thank you all.